Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
Sup, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. You are watching Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan, we talk about movies. Each week we do a new podcast, a new show with a new movie. Ivan, today we are going to take you back and take the audience back to 1950s New York. Ivan, what movie are we talking about today?
West Side Story.
Yes. But before we get into that, let me give a little plug. Plug. Remember that song?
Plug walk.
No, I'll talk about it later. If you're listening, if you're watching, we thank you. If you're listening to us on podcast, we thank you. Peliculas with the Bros. If you're if you're watching us on the YouTubes, thank you again. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe wherever you're at. You can find us on all podcast platforms. You can find us on YouTube. This is Peliculas with the Bros. We would appreciate it greatly if you subscribe, if you hit the like button, if you leave a comment. We would greatly appreciate that. Right, Ivan? It helps with the algorithms of it all.
Don't let them know we need help. We got to pretend we're up there, and then we will manifest the audience.
Do you believe in the law of attraction?
Sure.
Then let's attract these beautiful people out there to watch our show. Again, we would very much appreciate it. Please listen in, and here we go. Ivan, the premise of West Side Story. In 1950s Manhattan, the Jets and the Sharks are two rival gangs who are fighting for territory. The Jets are white, oh yes, and they come from broken homes. The Sharks are from Puerto Rico and are trying to establish themselves in a new country. The tension between these two gangs intensifies when Tony, a former Jet, and Maria, the sister of the Sharks leader, fall in love.
Oh.
How can this forbidden love exist when their love is the gas that fuels the fire between the Jets and the Sharks?
Wow.
You can start whatever you want, baby. With the cast of Ansel Elgort as Tony, Rachel Zegler as Maria, Ariana DeBose as Anita, David Alvarez as Bernardo, Mike Feist as Riff, Rita Moreno as Valentina, and Josh Andres Rivera as Chino. This movie, Ivan, is written by Tony Kushner, a legend. They say, I don't know much about him, but I read his Wikipedia. He's a master of sorts in the arts of playwriting. He is known for his play Angels in America. It is a Pulitzer Prize winning play. I can respect anyone who won a Pulitzer Prize because our boy Kendrick Lamar,
Pulitzer Kenny
has done the same. So was it like, I see you, I see you, Kushner.
Or I won't go there.
Okay. This movie is directed by the great Steven Spielberg.
Maybe.
Ivan, are you ready for this?
As I'll ever be.
Okay. Let's get into a little bit about Spielberg before we get into this movie. I won't add any adjectives in front of the movie just to not offend those named Ivan or Frosty who may or may not like the movie. I won't put any words in your mouth just yet, right?
Uh-huh.
Ivan, Spielberg.
Trash.
Okay, next subject. He's known for obviously being probably the most successful director of all time. Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Indiana Jones, The Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, Hook, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, AI, Artificial Intelligence, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, War of the Worlds, Munich, The Adventures of Tintin, Lincoln, Bridges of Spies, The BFG, The Post, Ready Player One, and now we have West Side Story. Ivan, who is Spielberg to you?
A hack.
A hack!
A hack.
To me, he's a... It's hard because, like, most of the movies that we said right now, I should say most of them, but a lot of them we've seen growing up, right?
Yeah.
We grew up with this man's films.
Yep.
But when you think of Spielberg, what type of director is he?
I'd say like a kid at heart sort of movies where like you could feel the spirit of a child.
Yeah, and they say that's what he's going for most of the time. He's sort of has this like sense of wonder, like a kid looking into space or something like that.
Right.
He's also, but it's not just that too, because it's like when we think about the directors that we truly love, we think of directors that are auteurs, right? Or do you think of someone that's more of like a Spielberg? Who's
Adam McKay.
McKay. But what do you consider McKay an auteur?
Well, define auteur.
They have their own sense of style and they execute it on film or on their art.
Wasn't that Spielberg?
I don't know, because that's the thing. When I think of Spielberg, I don't think of an auteur. I think of a guy who makes movies that he's interested in, but he just makes them. He makes hits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I talked about this last week, but it's like he's the Drake of movies. He doesn't have a specific sort of like style, a specific sort of like idea that he's always trying to communicate. Well, actually, you could say that Drake does have an idea, but he's always trying to do what he does at 100% like hit ratio.
Okay.
And I don't think you can say that about like auteurs necessarily, because you would think auteurs are more like, I'm gonna make this to my liking, and to hell with the people that don't like it or not. Like it's a specific vision that might not be suitable for the masses.
But maybe his auteurness is just happens to hit the mainstream too. Maybe he thinks like, oh, I'm just making this for myself and my style, and it just so happens everyone loves it. Like this is just mainstream popcorn.
I see that, but then he makes films like Lincoln, and
I think that's still like
maybe like Schindler's List, where it's like, okay, he's not like, this isn't a specific style. This is just a man executing on an idea perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
Like he gets a script, and he's like, I'm gonna make the best freaking movie that will hit the most amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't look at he doesn't get a script and say like, I'm gonna execute this idea of like boy wonderness to this.
So, do you think an auteur would see the script and say, I would execute boy wonderness?
Yeah. I think like if you gave this, let's say you gave 10 scripts to Nolan and 10 scripts to Spielberg. I think Spielberg would follow the script closely, where Nolan would be like, let's kill this guy right here, or let's add some more trippiness to this. You know, like they would add more of their flavor.
Maybe. I don't know.
But it's sort of hard too, because like when you look at his career, he's made a shitload of movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you distill one man's theme over 50 movies? Maybe that's an impossible feat.
I read that like maybe you told me his way of filming is like a production line where he like has everything mastered, where he can like poop out a movie in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Just because he like has he knows it.
Yeah. And he works with the same people.
Mm-hmm.
He makes basically a movie every 2 years, and they all look like they're worth $100 million at least.
Mm-hmm.
He can basically make anything he wants.
And he makes this.
Ivan, what a segue. Is it a segue? Let me see if I have anything else in my notes. Yeah, I think that's it. Ivan, West Side Story. This, I don't know if you know or not, is a remake.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Just checking.
Jeez.
You are like, what, a Zoomer?
Today, when I walked in, what'd you do to me?
It really be busted.
No.
Wait, what?
Sheesh.
No. What do they say? It be bussin', and then they say another word. Proper? So like, shit really be bussin', and then they say, oh man, I just saw it today.
I'm not a slanger. I like slang to know it, but I don't like slang to use it exactly.
Yeah. I will admit something right now.
Live?
Yeah.
To 2 million Twitch viewers.
Yeah, right now.
Wow.
I went to Urban Outfitters today.
Okay.
And I felt like, I was like, damn. So this is what's happening.
I think Urban Outfitters is out, actually.
That's how far back I am. Where I'm like, so this is what the kids are wearing.
Jeez.
Well, I sort of get that Urban Outfitters is sort of like the place your parents take you if they think you want to be like hip, you know?
Yeah.
Because like everything's moving too fast on the internet.
I think it's just like there's no in anymore. Just you buy a shirt you like. There's not really like, ooh, is that from Forever 21?
Right.
It's like,
But
no.
that's sort of why Urban Outfitters is cool, because they have like 100 different brands.
Yeah.
And they all don't make sense together, but the style does. And the style was like hippie, you know? And I'm like, dang, we're in the 70s now.
Jeez.
More about that later, because I actually have a good segue about that. But What's That Story, Evan? This is a musical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a remake.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see one of the remakes? Or, one of the original? Because there's a Broadway show, and then there's a movie they made in 1961. Did you watch any of that?
I think I might have seen it in Spanish class a while ago.
Me too. I don't know about Spanish, but
I don't remember it.
watched it in high school. I sort of remember bits and pieces, and in high school I was like, oh, this is weird. Because, you know, it's a musical, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about musicals?
I don't mind them, but I think they're just not done well. Not that I know how to do it. But
I would love to see you like, no. Cut the malarkey.
this is what you got to do, and I do like a perfect dance.
like this. Yeah. And they're just like clapping, slow clap.
People crying, people sobbing.
A guy just shoots himself in the head like, this is all I needed to watch. Yeah.
Cause I remember like I liked Hairspray, that movie. And I didn't expect to like, I watched it on TV because it was on.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? I like this.
Yes.
And I was kind of coming into this movie with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably like this because I kind of like Hairspray. And this is like a musical, like the musical.
Uh-huh. Okay. We'll get into that. But in sort of like at your base, musicals, you're not against them, but you're not for them.
I'd say we're in a period where there's not much musicals for me to be like,
have an opinion on.
Yeah.
But you never try to take yourself back to yesteryear in the 1960s and watch any of the musicals like that were popping back then, you know?
Nah.
You never were interested enough to do that.
But I was never interested to do that for like a lot of genres.
That's true. That is true. But a lot of genres are still happening today, you know? Whereas musicals, it's almost like a one every 5 years type of thing. At least a big one, you know?
Cats?
Cats. Ooh. We need to watch that like as a Patreon exclusive and charge $1 million. I know.
There's La La Land. I heard it was good. I want to watch it.
I want to watch it too. That's actually a movie we need to watch.
It's probably like a modern musical, like modern, not like this.
I don't know. We need to watch it. We
It
don't
has
know enough about musicals.
I watched some of it, and it felt pretty.
Well, did you watch In the Heights?
Nah, that looked cringy.
That's the thing. And that's the thing for me with musicals. Off top, if they're not a Disney movie, it's corny.
What's the point of musicals?
I think it's like... It's the sort of the idea of like, this was how people were entertained once, back in the day. This was like a popular form of entertainment.
But like, what was the deal back then?
They were insane, man.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, honestly. Like, because
I want to meet somebody who's like, I love musicals. Because like, I watch this, I'm like, I'd rather they just talk. I'd rather hear that than some random like break into music sort of moment.
Mel, come on out.
He did it right.
I think what it is, it's obviously like, it's how our parents would feel about hip hop. Like, why are you listening to that? You know, like it's just like a bunch of noise. Where it's the opposite, where musicals are sort of so antiquated, and it's like really specific to sort of New York City in a way, in my eyes at least, as like an outsider, where it's like you hear about all these musicals and Broadway plays in New York, and you think that's sort of like the hub of it. And us on the other side of the globe, not having any experience in theater, you know, any experience in that kind of lifestyle, then maybe that's why we have like completely no idea about it.
I feel in my gut.
And Ivan has a deep gut, by the way.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
I feel like normal New Yorkers don't care about plays either. I think it's like a lower minority of people who are a little fancier, like, let's go to the play.
This is true. Because like if you ask like Wiki or Action Bronson, hey, you watch any plays lately? Any musicals? You're like, nah, dog.
Cause like, what's a modern one? Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah.
Nobody actually likes that.
I mean, that's not true, but yeah.
Nobody.
Sure.
There's like, do you remember the Succession joke on Hamilton?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it specifically.
Well, they were saying like what I just said. Like Greg, he's like, I love Hamilton, and then Tom's like, sure you do. We all do. But like the underlying thing is nobody actually likes Hamilton.
Yeah. I think yes, it's true. It's a specific type of person, right? And Ivan, you're looking at him.
Because look, I would go to an opera, which is basically a play, but you sing a little differently, and it's more like, I think it's people standing and they sing. I'd rather do that. I'd go to a concert. It's like more singing there.
Yeah.
Maybe story-based singing.
Yeah.
But like a play, that feels very boring to me. A play where they sing.
A musical.
A musical
Seems
play.
very boring.
Yeah.
I think one very underrated part, and I'm not sure if you thought it was underrated while you're watching it, that the people that are in a musical have an extreme amount of talent. So in itself, it's an amazing thing to see because of the performative nature of it. Like to be one of these actors who were able to act, sing, and dance. I mean, come on, dude. That's so hard.
But then you make a poopa movie like this.
Well, we'll get to that.
What's the point?
I think that's one of the specific things that people might be attracted to. Just the idea of like what we're watching is an incredibly difficult thing to do. Just like you're watching a basketball game, you know?
Okay.
that's one aspect. The other aspect is like I'm okay watching musicals because I like it. And to be fair, you do have a valid point, and like the niche art audience for these kind of movies are usually women.
Racist, sexist. I mean, sorry.
And also the men that are primarily in I don't even want to say that, but you know where that
Just
was
casually homophobic.
no that would be homophobic, is it?
I know, but it's just funny. Like the fact that you went back on it kind of feels like you're gonna say something homophobic. Not that you were,
Right.
but like it's that fear.
Okay, I'm going in now. I'm digging in my trenches. I would say the guys who are in musicals are
What?
primarily gay. See, you're getting all flustered now.
I'm losing my
Obviously,
career.
that isn't entirely true, but when you think about it, I think that's what, at least that's where my head goes, and maybe it's because I'm not in that world enough to know like all of the people.
I think just purely statistically, like
Let's go to numbers.
numbers can't be sexist or homophobic or racist, right?
Jay-Z said it, so
I think they just that genre attracts people who would be more likely to be gay or
more feminine.
Yes.
That's why I like it.
But what kind of society are we where men can't enjoy musicals?
That's the thing. That's one of my points. Let me just dive into that part then. Like, I grew up on Disney, obviously. Like, look at me.
I'm trying not to.
And as a Disney kid, Lion King, blah blah blah, Aladdin, you're sort of conditioned to musicals. And I'm I guess okay watching a musical. I'm not like most guys where it's like, oh, guys singing or like people singing, it's corny, you know? And even my fiance, when she watched this, she's like, "Oh god, it's so corny." And she was like laughing at me when they started belting out their ballads.
There's funny parts where I was like, "Oh, come on."
It is, yeah. But it's I don't know how to describe that. Like, what about it is that like you just feel awkward or like corny about it? Like, can it ever not be that? Can it ever not be corny to most people?
I two theories. I have a theory that maybe that corniness is like some sort of jealousy in us where we can't get that sort of like release of like just straight up belting it out. Because that's what sometimes what corniness is. Just
That's
like
true. Yeah, I see that.
Theory 2 is it just poorly made. Like, because I don't remember Hairspray being like, I gotta rewatch Hairspray. I gotta watch La La Land.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Hairspray and I was like, this is nice. But like,
But I think it's because maybe the music was more like, I have to say, Hairspray, from what I remember, is campy, like intentionally,
yes,
right?
yeah,
So like they're sort of they know what they're doing,
maybe that's what it is.
and in this, it's like they're playing it sort of realistically,
Yeah,
which might be the thing that's sort of causing your brain not to like it. You know?
yeah.
That's a good point, though. It's a good thing to think about when watching this. We'll take a quick break and we'll talk deep about this movie. Primarily, we've been just hovering over it, skirting around the topics.
Little
But
bites like the fish on the whale.
yeah, right now we're gonna take a whole tuna-sized bite from that mackerel.
It's gonna be a cartoonish.
We'll be right back. Going into this movie, Ivan, what were your expectations?
I thought I would like it.
You knew it was Spielberg. You saw the trailer. I'm
Yeah.
guessing, and you had a feeling that you'll like it.
Yeah.
And did you know about the story at all?
No, but like as I was going through it, I was like, I remember like this kind of scenario, like in pop culture.
Well, it's basically Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So that's the main archetype, or what is it? Is it archetype?
Oh.
For me, going into it, honestly, I was pretty excited to watch it.
Uh-huh.
The trailer looked pretty cool, and it felt like if someone, if we're gonna get a Spielberg West Side Story, it's gonna be amazing. Cause just because that, like, if anyone else did this, I wouldn't be too excited.
Mhm.
But knowing that Spielberg's like, I want to do this, it's like one of the greatest directors of all time. Like when you get a greatest director of all time to direct a remake,
Uh-huh.
you have to be ready for something.
Okay.
So that's those were my initial feelings. Also, musicals are sort of like, and this movie too is sort of like primed for Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. Is it just that like musical and like like sort of like a wholesome in a
I
way?
think just because Christmas is known for also music,
Uh-huh.
all the songs that you like sing along to, so it's
Mhm.
like naturally a music movie.
Yes. And okay, that's what you felt going into it. As you are watching it, snooze show.
Me.
You were in water and little bubbles were coming out.
Yeah, I had one of those nightcaps with the in a long
Yeah. A long pajama set.
a big old blankie on me. Had the little candle wick there. I went
Yeah.
to turn it off.
And you went to sleep.
Me.
You're bored.
Yeah,
Wow. What time did you watch it? Maybe that
4.
Okay, maybe not. What was wrong with it? And like,
Where do I begin? Anywhere?
yeah, like, I guess as a whole, and then maybe like,
As a whole, I don't know why this had to be made at all.
uh-huh.
Maybe I had to rewatch. I looked up like differences.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have to I have to watch the old one to see what they did, like for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I read like they made the police guy more like subtly racist.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if it was in the first movie, but that transgender man
Yes.
in the movie, was that? Do you know if that was in the last one?
I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, but I think she had a big role, a more prominent role this time than in the original. I think.
Just like all the themes in this felt like dated. And I guess that's more of like because it's an old movie,
Yeah.
like 50s.
Yeah.
We're kind of over that sort of
Tension.
racism, tension, like all that. Like we're past that into like new racism and new hate.
To me, I felt the exact opposite.
What?
As far as like, we're not. It's sort of like, it felt like current times.
You were like, this is what we need.
Thank you, Spielberg. Because it's the Sharks versus the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Whites versus Puerto Ricans. Americans versus Puerto Ricans, basically.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans are seen as people invading a land.
Uh-huh.
The Jets are trying to push him out, right?
Yeah.
The same is happening right now in a weirder way, and it's the opposite way with gentrification.
Isn't this what that movie was about? Gentrification?
No, because gentrification is like when whites move in to, or like when affluent people move in to sub-affluent
I thought
places.
I would have to Google.
Uh-huh.
But I thought it meant like when the area around starts rising in not value, but like the living
That too.
goes up, so everyone kind of goes up with it. I feel
No.
like
That's the thing that like, what's the word again?
gentrification.
Gentrification is when the cost of living goes up because of the new things being built in that area because of the cost of rent going up too, and then rich people are moving in, where the people that originally lived there have to move out
Yeah.
because they can't keep up with the rapid increase of cost of living.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think everyone knows that already. Like the audience that would watch this, they already know that's a thing. Like I don't think like some racist would watch this and be like, "You're telling me we did this?" And they like start crying. Like I don't know who this is for. You know?
this, well,
Besides the musical lovers.
yeah, it's definitely for the musical lovers. But I think I wouldn't say this is for racist people to see the wrongs of their ways, because like they're not gonna watch this movie
Yeah.
inherently. But
I'm saying it's like a message that's already like known. It's just we don't have the power to do anything about it. It's like if we made the movie about a meteor that's gonna kill us, and they're like, we gotta stop it, but we can't do anything.
But there is what's the message that what's the main, I guess, are we talking about messages then? Like what's the message?
The theme, like people are bad because of the upbringing they're brought in. And
I
then
think it's also that like there's inherent conflicts between people because of race, you know, and being feeling like getting pushed out.
what were they even fighting for? Like that dirt mound?
That's a good question.
Because I know it was a turf war, but why are like 18-year-olds fighting over land? Like,
It's because like that area was being more and more turned into like a mini Puerto Rico, you know,
okay,
where they want it to be like how they remembered it when they were
Right.
growing up.
so they're just racists both ways.
But that's just like gentrification,
Yeah.
where like the people who live in the slums right now, they want it to be how it is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want it to be Starbucks on the corner and
Yeah.
little mini malls, you know?
But I think at its best, gentrification theoretically would bring up everyone with it.
Sure, but it never does that.
Yes, I know. But like if these people in the slums want it to stay the way there is, then they're going to continue to be poor and bad upbringings and everything. So like on one side, you don't gentrify, you get horrible upbringing. Other side, you get gentrification, and then you just get tossed out, and like the cycle just continues somewhere else.
But why not just help the society first so everyone
That's
can...
the rich people.
No, it's not, because it never happens that way.
What do you mean?
Okay, I don't know how this turned political. We're talking about freaking West Side Story.
Hey, it's inherently political.
I'm just saying the fix to this, which is impossible because like you need a complete buy-in from a government to fix an impoverished area. You need to spend a lot of money to uplift those people
Yeah.
through education
Yeah.
and helping them in scenarios in the bad scenarios they're in.
Yeah.
Not in making everything newer and kicking them out because now they don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah. But that's what I thought gentrification meant.
That the second part is what gentrification.
No, I mean educating everyone and bringing
No.
them up.
That is not what it means.
Hmm?
For example, in San Diego, we live in San Diego, California. There's the area by Chicano Park, right?
Uh-huh.
They're scared that is getting gentrified because downtown is increasingly getting bigger.
Uh-huh.
And as it gets bigger, the people that live in Chicano Park, in that area, they're going to be pushed out
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to make new buildings there. They're going to put new storefronts there. They're selling to big people with more money, and they're going to be pushed further south. Same thing with this movie. Anyways, you're saying you don't know who this movie's for. That's one of your big gripes with this. For
Yeah.
some reason, that's a big gripe for you. Sure, okay, fine, let's go. What's another thing?
They don't act like people.
Well, it is. You have to suspend your disbelief. It is a musical.
So musicals, they don't get to act like people.
They do have basic feelings like people, but they are gonna dance all of a sudden for no reason.
I just felt like their motivations were stupid. Like, her brother just got killed by this dude.
Okay, yeah, that one was like, that's the big one.
I didn't know how the story was going, but I was like, how in the world are they going to end it where she's going to actually love this guy again?
Yeah.
And then, like, the first meeting's like, if you leave, another thing is going to be taken from me.
Yeah.
Like, holy, this girl is crazy.
But let's take it back. Romeo and Juliet. How old were they when they fell in love? What'd you think?
Like 15.
Right. You know what kind of hormones are raging through a 15-year-old's body at that time?
No.
It's the kind of hormones that if someone killed your sibling, if your significant other killed your sibling, you wouldn't care. You would not care. You'd be like, well, I'm very sad about that. But I am so in love with you that, like, if you leave me, like, be busted. It'll be really be busting, you know?
That's not how it works.
Oh, okay. But you know what I mean? The idea is, like, we're dealing with teenagers, basically. And yes, it is dumb that Maria's like, all right, Tony, you killed my brother, but who cares, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there's just a little bit of suspension of disbelief, and you have to take into account that they are basically hormones are raging in. And at the end of the day, Romeo and Juliet, the kids were dumb, you know, for killing themselves at such a young age over puppy love. This is the same thing. Ivan, I think you're gonna be mad at me, but I like this movie. There, I said it. The corniness of it, it was hurting me in the beginning, seeing them like sing and dance, but then I got used to it. I was like, okay, I'm in it. And the movie it looked beautiful. You got to give it that. Right? And you know, I'm a sucker for New York City movies, man.
Oh, my God.
You put me in New York City.
It's instant, like, 2 points up.
Yeah, like, just give me a bagel and some coffee, and I'm a New York City boy, you know what I mean? So that's one of the big things that's going for me for this movie. And it's the 1950s, right before Mad Men.
I care about Mad Men and after, nothing before it.
I honestly like the movie because it looked amazing, and I enjoyed the performance of the actors in terms of like their dancing, their singing abilities, and the set pieces were pretty cool. Like, you gotta admit, like the fight between them, like everything leading up to that, you're sort of like, come on, man, don't do this. No?
I was like, these idiots are gonna fight, and they're gonna die.
I think that's the crazy thing about humanity. Not humanity, about humans. How we perceive things are so radically different, man. Isn't that crazy?
Sadly.
How like, I look at Louis Vert and I'm like, he's the next thing. And you look at Louis Vert and you're like, that's a piece of garbage right there.
Yes, sir.
And then you look at like Taylor Swift and you're like, that's my idol. And I'm like, Taylor Swift, that's Kanye's rival. How can you like Taylor Swift, right?
Yes, sir.
There it is. But I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I don't know, man. Because like, there's the other thing, which I know you don't really care, but all the critics are saying this is an amazing movie.
Okay.
So it's like, am I wrong or are they wrong?
Look.
What do you feel about that? Go ahead. Lay it down.
There's nothing like technically wrong with it. Like, it does the musicals, it does the perfect scenery, it hit the plot like exactly like what it wanted to do. Like, none of the characters are bad, like they were doing what they had to do. But my gripes is like, who's this for? And I don't remember, but I don't like this.
Who's this for? And they're not real people.
Yeah.
Their decisions don't make any sense.
Yes.
But it's only the two main characters, right?
I don't know. I don't think Chino. I think he was an idiot too.
Yeah. But
He
that
was
was
just walking around.
That was his best friend.
Still, like, what's that gonna solve? You murder him and then go to jail? Like,
But you're okay with Lil Durk talking about Uzis and stuff?
what?
Yeah, man. I know you.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess like, I mean, kids will be kids, right?
I guess, but it's also just like a toxic overall environment.
Well, that's what they were dealing with.
But I don't know if that's because of the stuff around them. Well, I guess it is, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too elevated for them.
Well, I mean, this happens all the time today, you know, like in gangs.
And they're stupid.
But that doesn't make the story like uninteresting or a bad story. It's real life. It happens.
I guess it's like comparing to like Succession, right? Where like look. Like the calculated battles they're doing is so like they're thinking. Like Mad Men too, they're thinking about everything they're doing. And then in this
you just rewatch SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3.
and they had more motivation in this.
No.
Yeah.
It's a different category of people.
Racist.
It's a different type of story. It's complete. I get it. You want to see an intellectual battle between mano a mano. But if you're watching
People are dumb.
If you're watching, you watched what's that dumb show, The Wire?
Oh my god.
You like that?
Even that one was more like there was people who were dumb, but then like the people around them were like, yeah, you're an idiot. Like they knew he was dumb, but nobody in this movie was like, you're an idiot. Like what's her face? The main charactress?
Maria.
When she was explaining to
Tony,
the widow, like why she did it. She was like, I was in love once. You're right. Go be free. She's the adult.
Well, she's probably like 19, to be fair.
Okay, I don't know about ages, but
She's probably like 2 years older.
maybe that's now you're just cherry picking or something.
Okay. To be frank, the character decisions, they're sticking close to the script.
Look,
They're sticking close to the script.
I got a left hook for you.
All right.
That scene where the widow went to the bar or whatever,
Yes.
and then like she was about to get raped.
Yes.
That was so weird when like the old lady came out. I was like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh no, you caught us. Like, and then they got in trouble by her. Like, that's so weird. Like what when she was saying they're like, oh, I didn't know what we were doing was bad. You know?
It is very simplified in that sense. Yeah, the entire story is very, very simplified as far as like character decisions. I give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you. I
With
definitely
that,
give you
with
that.
what you just said, it kind of puts a little more perspective on it. Like super simplified, like pure emotion movie musical. I could give it a pass for that.
Did I get a point up?
But you didn't intentionally do it, so
And you're like I said earlier, Spielberg is basically dealing with the same source material. He's making little tweaks, but he's not doing a major overhaul and adding like a new layer of depth. You know, maybe he is to some of the minor characters. Like I heard Chino got boosted up a little bit, and the trans person also got boosted up a little bit.
even that character was like you could see where his path was going. Like at the start, you're like, you're not a man, and then at the end, like, you know what? Good job, boy. And then he was like the most predictable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, but you
Simplified.
yes, but it's like it's Disney, you know. It's like a adult version of Disney.
but who wants that? I know people want that, but like,
Well, according to the box office, not that many people want that. 'Cause
There we go.
It didn't make that much money
I was right. That's
But-
not like, who's this for?
for the people that like this kind of movie.
Like, but this can't be how all musicals are. Where like, was West Side Story just like a super simplified story, like always, or are all musicals like this simplified
No,
dumb characters?
I would say West Side Story is more simplified than most musicals. But I don't know enough about musicals to. I would assume that there's very complicated ones.
Like, I want to see Romeo and Juliet and see like how that differs from this. If like I get like dumb kids will be dumb kids. Like
Yeah.
I can forgive that because they don't know better.
Yeah.
But when the adults around them are stupid too, that's when it's like. So I have to see how they do it in Romeo and Juliet if they had like dumb adults too,
Yeah.
and if there was like simplified, whatever.
Yeah, I think Romeo and Juliet's pretty simplified. I think a good barometer would be to watch
Not Tom, Leo one,
no.
West Side Story one,
No, the one with by
Hairspray, La La Land.
the new La La Land.
Okay,
I think that would be a good barometer to see like a more modernized version of a musical and see what that
like I
gives
got
us.
to watch like 5 movies. Like
Just to understand this.
ironically watch these just so I know like if I'm right. And then
Yeah.
what if I end up being right? It's gonna be sad too.
You'll learn something. You'll learn something.
And I gotta watch Hairspray, La La Land, West Side Story 1. What else?
While you're there, just watch Romeo and Juliet,
Romeo and Juliet. And then
the
I'll
old
watch
one, and watch the
Leo one?
Leo one.
They're 5 movies.
There it is.
And then I'll figure out if
Moulin
this-
Rouge.
What's that?
You don't know Moulin Rouge? Come on, man.
I know the
Nicole
name.
Kidman. Like 2000s, Ewan McGregor.
That was a musical?
I think it's a musical. Definitely has music in it.
Okay. I think I want to watch these because this movie sucked.
Damn.
I hated it.
Damn.
I hope I never watch this again. I don't know. I don't want to go too far.
Can I pitch a version of this movie to you?
Please.
I know I was harping on the Lil Durk a little bit earlier, but
West Side Story,
in
rappers.
Chicago.
Oh.
Yes. Because I was also thinking, like, this idea of, like, how can we make a musical that's not corny?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw part of In the Heights, and that was still corny, and they try to, like, modernize things. So that wasn't the answer to me. And I haven't seen Hamilton. I don't really have a plan to watch Hamilton. But I think there is something there where it's like, if you hip-hop it a little bit, you know?
Hamilton was corny. I've heard the songs, and it's like very basic. Like you learn rap in a rap class,
Right.
not any like
Introspective. Layered.
no.
Double entendres.
Shut up. No, like personality to it. It's just like this is the format for a rap.
Yes.
This.
Yeah.
T-t-t-t.
Yeah, and because like when I watch music videos, I'm like, well, there's a video here by a hip hop artist. They're saying lyrics, and the video isn't corny.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a way to make it.
Well, like Stan. That's like a play.
Yeah. Like imagine Stan, but 2 hours long or an hour and 30 minutes long.
That would be good.
But O Block, Chicago, got Lil Durk's gang versus the other gang.
Them snapping. Well, I think they would have a different version. Than snapping.
And the other thing is like the dancing.
Uh-huh.
Like you have to make the dancing non-corny.
Right.
Like, I guess, like in this movie, there's a lot of ballet dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can still have ballet, but still make it sort of just not corny, not too feminine, you know, and it'll work. But I don't know. But I would like to see someone really commit to this. And I think the musical director should be Kanye.
Smart.
Thank you. Moving on.
You just said that, so I can't say anything else. Like, ooh, Kanye. He's right.
Kanye. What was it, Kanye? Out of all these actors, I think there's a couple standouts. The ones that are okay to me are actually the leading actors, Ansel Elgort and Rachel Zegler. They're playing Tony and Maria, the main characters. They have like love at first sight type of vibes, you know? And the way they look at each other is just like, oh my God. Like they never seen another human as beautiful as each other, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was sort of, I like that about it, that they looked at each other with so much like real love. But they, like you said, they are simplified and they don't really have too much depth into them. That being said, the characters that I do like are Riff, Anita, and Bernardo. I think Riff...
Is that the leader who died?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Anita and Bernardo, they're good just because they're sort of like... They have like sort of their own ideas of how everything should be.
Is Nita the widow?
Yes.
Okay. And Bernardo's the
boxer.
widower?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I like that about them. But Riff, I like him because he has a face on him. He has like a honking nose and 2 big old ears, and his face is very short. You know?
A face made for plays.
So he's gonna be on the honorary Peliculas with the Bros team all face. The current members are Adam Driver and Lady Gaga.
Okay.
I'm adding Riff into this. Hopefully I have a little graphic right here that will show something.
Boop, boop, boop.
But yeah, and I also really liked his performance. I think he was just like the most performative out of all of them.
Okay.
Ivan, what's the best scene for you? Let's start with that. Do you like the opening scene where the jets are all gathering together?
I guess. I think I liked it because I didn't know I disliked the movie yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I sort of felt like you were going to say that. The dance at the school is okay.
I liked the songs that I knew.
So what is that? Like, I just realized that like 5 or 4 of the songs I already knew before. Not so I knew I'm So Pretty. That one I knew that it was gonna be in this, but I didn't know in America. Where is that from other than this?
Probably like Family Guy.
Right?
Like, I'm sure I've heard it in Family Guy.
Like when I saw the movie, I'm like, for some reason the first thing I thought was Family Guy.
It's probably Family Guy.
Crazy. Family Guy knows like all the things, all pop culture.
Yep.
Seth MacFarlane, right?
Yep.
What a man.
Yep.
The fight between the Jets and the Sharks was really good for me. Just the fact that like how it went down. He's like, no, don't do it, and he gets stabbed right in the heart.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
And then in a fit of rage kills Bernardo.
I was mad at him at that point. I was like, you just said you wanted peace. You just were telling her you hope you never kill a guy ever again.
Yeah.
Kids will be kids.
Don't use my slang, all right? And it's funny because like all the things you were talking about like that you didn't like, I sort of like. So I like the scene where Valentina is like, you were gonna rape her. Shame on you.
God.
And they're all looking. One was like crying.
That was so funny to me.
I'm like, this is good. This is so good.
That was funny.
Oh man, Ivan, what's your rewatchability for this
None,
movie?
0, low, whatever.
I got high.
Okay.
Ivan, out of 5.
2.5.
Out of 5, what?
2.5, nothing.
Out of 5 tickets, Ivan gives it 2.5 tickets.
Out of respect
to
God.
I give it a 4.25.
Let's move on, please.
This movie was just what I needed. Just
Okay. You're like,
it's right up my alley.
yeah.
I think my takeaway is like let's make musicals okay. Let's normalize musicals. That's my takeaway.
Not after this box office.
And I know that's not gonna happen, right? And I just thought it looked amazing. Like, it looked amazing. The
Okay.
story, obviously, you're dealing with like a very basic storyline, but the performances, the acting, the style, the dancing, the set pieces, I liked it. Ivan, thank you for watching this movie with me. All right, now, Ivan, it's time for a section I like to call.
Things and such.
Did you happen to catch the Travis Scott apology?
Which one?
He sat down with Charlemagne the God
Oh,
and did an
no, I
interview.
didn't. Tell me. Believable?
Yeah.
I feel like he's channeling the loss of all the money he's losing and putting that into the sadness that he is throwing out into the world.
Yeah. Obviously, it's still such a nasty thing that happened. Like, I kind of feel weird listening to Travis Scott. Do you?
I haven't listened to him in months.
Wow. So that's a thing for me. But as far as like what's his real intentions behind, like how he truly feels, I'm sure he feels shitty for being partly responsible in a way, even though it's hard to place blame too much on him for me.
Okay.
Just because of like, it's an incredibly hard thing to manage while performing, I would assume.
Okay.
But in the interview, I think the main thing that he was trying to get his point across is that he wants to help as much as possible.
I mean,
I know.
from a PR perspective.
I know. And I don't know, like anything, I feel like he's screwed either way.
Yeah.
You know,
but
like,
he could have, if he, like, from the start went like, look, I'm done with music for a year. I'm going to
but
work.
What is
So to show that he's like actually broken by this, like I don't believe him. And it's just too late. I think he's tainted.
I think it's hard too, cause like he's not an incredibly, he's not very good with words for being an artist, which is weird. I mean, I think a lot of artists are that way actually. Like Kanye is like,
Make an album about this then.
like, and when he was speaking, he was talking about how he wants to help in any way, and that he just wants to figure out what really happened.
What do you mean? What does that even mean? I'll tell him what happened.
What happened?
He's stupid.
Well, that's not very fair,
Oh.
is it?
That's how I would start.
No.
Look, you're dumb.
Why is he dumb?
I think he's been building this fan base with no. Well, I've talked about this with
Say
no.
it again.
He's been building a fan base and this rage mentality of no rules for so long, and then eventually caught up to literally people dying because of no rules.
But he never promoted death.
But it led to it.
But anything could lead to death.
Not if, I mean, yes, but if something like, if his whole thing is no rules, that's already not good. Like, look at the seed of no rules raging. That's already gonna turn out bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been incidents like this before where people just, like, all Travis concerts are, you come out like, I almost did not make that. It's been like that.
Okay.
And it's just a concert. Why are you scared for your life, or why are you getting hurt at a concert?
Yeah.
Like, and there's no way he didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Like, where he's making this dangerous environment. If he, at that point, but should have been like, look, raging is fun and all, but you got to be safe, but not in a corny way.
Do you do you know that he's never said that at a concert? Like, hey guys, I know.
I really, really doubt he's ever said that.
Hmm.
And if anything, I'm pretty sure he's never stopped a concert over people going wild. And I know it's not exactly his job to stop a concert, but it's kind of his job to make sure everyone's having fun, or like people are having fun. And if you can, I don't believe that he couldn't see people were like not doing well. I think he like just saw people like pass down. He's like, Ragers, you know?
You really think that?
I
You-
think
You
that's.
think he saw people that were passed out and said like, "Good luck, keep going."
I think he thought that was like rock star stuff. I truly believe that. I don't think he thought like they were dead. I don't think he thought they were hurt at all. He just thought like these people raged hard. Like they went rock star hard.
I don't know. It would be such like you can't even. You would have to know specifically what he's thinking and have him say stuff for you to confirm that.
Maybe, but his first apology video looked super fake.
Yeah,
Like it's not.
He's not the brightest of people. That's the thing.
I'm like picking up 1,000 different little subtext things he does, where it like paints this picture of a person who's just not that good of a person.
Yeah. Doesn't have the empathy.
I don't think he's straight up like evil. I just think he's kind of he got into this mentality of like he's a sensation.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have to think about this stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. My thing with him is like I feel like no matter what he's gonna lose,
Yeah.
and you can't bring back people that are gone, you know. So it's like that's
yeah.
always gonna stick to him.
Yeah.
But kind of wish he didn't do the interview just 'cause like
Didn't look good.
it just there wasn't too much he could say that would help. All he said was like, I want to figure out how to fix this. I want to help all the people that were affected. I will always be there to help you.
I don't even like that. Like I would rather hear actions. Like, look, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Not tell me what to do.
And and the thing is, like, he doesn't know what he can do right now.
I mean,
but for him to come out, yeah, it's like then you shouldn't come out and say
yeah.
this, you know.
If anything, and if he doesn't know what to do, and if he had like just say like I'm gonna stop doing any music stuff for a bit just to figure this out, and that's like all he has to say. Anything else is like, look, can we go past this and get back to me making money, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately what he wants, and I don't think that's exactly a bad thing, but you gotta pay for your sins first, and he's not willing to do that like exactly.
I think he is, honestly. Well, I don't know him enough, but
He is, but I don't think he's willing.
he's not doing it the right way.
He doesn't. Yes, he doesn't want to lose too much money.
Oof, that's deep. Well, he's all his deals are going away.
Oh yeah,
He probably won't get a deal for at least 5 years.
Yep. And that's a lifetime.
Yeah, and I think the next course would be legal trouble for 2 years, and then in 3 years we'll see like the first music stuff.
'Cause I'm sure his album was close to done.
Yeah.
He can't release that for a while,
No, you can.
and by that time it's too late. Like, probably gonna be dated. Because I never even trusted him to make like a good album.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's gone, I think.
Okay, let's move into the next subject. Kanye and Drake. They
Woo!
did the they came out.
Sure.
They did a Larry Hoover special concert for him to get him out of jail for some reason. Did you watch it, Ivan?
Yeah.
What'd you think about the performance?
Drake was a little weak.
Oof.
It's because he played new songs. He should have. I don't know why he did it. Well, I know why. Because he has to sell his concerts.
What?
He has to sell his next concert.
No.
Because it's his new stuff. Okay, why did he do it?
Because he doesn't. It's Kanye's concert, and he's a special guest.
That doesn't matter.
It does.
They played forever at the end.
What do you mean?
They played Drake's, like, one of the biggest hits forever.
Yes.
And it's a benefit concert. He should
Right.
play his biggest hits.
But you think Kanye wants him to do that?
Kinda.
No.
You think Kanye was like, don't play your good songs?
No, he was like, can you do a special guest concert with me?
Uh-huh.
Can you be my special guest? We'll do a concert. It's like, yeah. And he doesn't want to outshine him.
So Drake, in his head, he's like, look, this is his moment.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Well, maybe that's what he was thinking, but he shouldn't have done that.
Why? What does he have to prove? This isn't a versus.
No, but it's a benefit concert, and I think to get your voice out more, he played like the things everyone loves, so everyone would watch and see Free Larry Hoover.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think more people are going to watch it if he performs like
One Dance.
Yeah.
I would have watched it.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think 5 more people are tuning in.
I think like 5 more people would.
But we're talking about an order of magnitude of like, you need 1,000 more people.
But he didn't play a lot of his popular songs. I mean, I think all of them were from What's Next and Before. And there's like 2 songs that were, there's like Forever and maybe like another song that was like, oh, that's a classic Drake.
Uh-huh.
But from like the 50 other hits, he didn't play.
Right.
Which I think, like, sure, play new stuff, but come on, play the hits.
No.
You don't think?
I mean,
then that means
honestly, yeah, I wouldn't mind if he did it. I wouldn't mind if he did it either way.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not. For me, I'm more into the current stuff. Not as a whole. I'm just saying, like, right now, if I want to hear Drake, I want to hear him do the new stuff. Just because I already went to a Drake concert.
Okay.
But I think people, and it sounds like you too, are like trying to make it a competition.
No.
Like, he should have played new stuff because.
No, I just think they both should have played more of their hits. Kanye did, but Drake should have played hits too, just because it's a benefit concert and streams or plays probably goes to it too.
Uh-huh.
They just want eyes on Larry Hoover.
Right.
And I think him playing One Dance and he had like the biggest hits ever. I think he played God's Plan, actually.
He did, yeah.
Fake Love, he should have played that. Like, there's just like a lot of songs he should have played.
Yeah.
Just to get eyes on Larry Hoover.
Then why do you think he didn't do it?
I think just for his concerts.
But he has nothing planned. He
He
has
has-
no concert planned.
I mean, he's probably thinking about it. And he has to play the new stuff
He has to play the new stuff.
because he's like a performer.
Yeah. Because he wants to too, I would assume.
But Kanye, he didn't. He played like 2 or 3 new stuff where all of it's like a lot. Most of it was Graduation, but he did like something from every album.
Yeah. But Kanye doesn't perform often.
True.
And Drake just did, well, not just did, but you got to imagine he's done the songs that you wanted him to do already hundreds of times before. He hasn't done Certified Lover Boy at all. So as a creative, you sort of want to perform your latest stuff.
But Kanye didn't.
But Kanye doesn't perform too often.
But what does that have to do with wanting to?
Because everything's newer to him.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because like those are, I don't think.
Like Drake already knows how hard
To go at like
what's one of the hit songs of Scorpion that's like a
nonstop.
yeah, he already knows how hard Nonstop goes.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't know how fun it is to do a song off Certified Lover Boy, you know? So for him it's fun to do newer stuff. Where Kanye, he hasn't performed since what 2016, right?
Yeah.
So for him to do any song at a stadium is gonna feel just as equally as fun as a new song, I would assume. Maybe even not so much so, but
I don't think fun should be factored in if it's a benefit concert.
get out of here. You're going too theoretical with me.
Sorry.
They don't. I don't. That's another subject. I don't even know what they're doing for Larry Hoover.
Freeing him.
Oh, well, there it is. But
I don't know how it would, but
I think they're just trying to lower his sentence. I don't think you can actually free a man that's a drug kingpin.
50 years ago.
Don't you don't you be one of those guys.
Too easy.
Well, I don't even know how to fix the legal system, so that's a different subject.
I do, but
Oh, Ivan. Last thing about things and such. Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. This movie is created by none other than the Allfather,
Adam McKay.
The trailer came out the other day. It's gonna come out on HBO. Ivan, did you take a look?
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this.
I'm mildly excited.
I'm obviously a big Lakers fan, if you didn't know.
Yep.
And McKay and the style of it and the idea of it and
White
everything.
lines.
Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It has to be good.
Yeah. I wonder how many seasons. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Do you think it's worth that many? Like, are you familiar with your Lakers history?
Well, yeah, they went from 79-80. They won from 79-80 to like 89 or 88.
10 years. That's like 7 seasons.
And then you can do like up until like you can fast forward like 2 years maybe, like to get good parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like was it The Queen on Netflix?
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
Where it jumps like 20 years.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, new segment alert. It's time for a section called What's on the Telly? What's on the telly? It's where we talk about what we're watching on the telly, on the tube, on the TV. I don't think there's anything but to talk about what we're about to talk about. Succession.
Final episode. Final.
I was so excited. Like I watched both West Side Story and Succession the same night.
Jeez. For you.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Got home and I was like, honey, you're going to come down? She's like, yeah. She went to sleep. I didn't care. I finished watching it like a bad
Was
dog.
she watching it too?
No.
Oh.
But she watches me watch it.
Just like, wow.
Yeah.
You can watch that show.
Yeah. She's a big fan of me, you know.
I hope so.
Let's recap. Can you recap the show in one sentence? What's it about?
I don't know about one sentence, but
Yeah, you can. Basically, what is it about?
A dad's giant billionaire empire and how his kids are trying to take over.
Exactly. And what happened in this last episode? Waystar most likely trying to merge with Gojo.
Uh-huh.
Kendall looks like he's probably dead.
Jesus. Yeah.
Shiv is basically non-existent.
Yeah,
like
she's just fighting for life. Like, she's just drowning.
And then Roman is oh so close to being like second in command.
Yeah.
But then he sends a dick pic to his dad, and that just falls.
Yeah.
So watching this episode, Ivan, big things happening.
Uh-huh.
Kendall is alive after all.
Yeah.
Saved after almost drowning, or what?
Yeah. So, like, I was kind of right. Like, he technically did die because...
No, he's dead if his heart stops beating, and then...
No, I mean, like, what I was reading that, like, no, he wasn't actually dying at all. He was just, like, floating there.
Yeah.
But he was, like, gonna die, but he got saved. Which is, like, kind of a halfway point.
I guess. his bros are worried for him
Yeah. That was the funny little lunch or breakfast they had.
when they're intervening.
Intervention.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. When Connor's like, I'm the oldest. I'm the eldest son.
He's like
But
bumping his head.
But you got to feel him too. Like he's
Yeah.
basically saying like, you're acting like I do not exist.
Yeah.
And I already feel like I don't exist because my wife doesn't, or my girlfriend doesn't want to become my fiance,
Yeah.
which is, I think, the funniest part of the show. We'll talk about that right now. Logan and Roman go to meet Madsen. Madsen basically wants to take over. Logan has to think about it, but sends Roman away.
Matson's like a modern Logan.
Yeah.
Because he knows the moves. He's unemotional about what to do. And he's like calculating, but modern,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Their mom is getting married, so they're they go to the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Greg is moving in on a princess,
Duchess.
on a duchess.
Greg's, oh my God. He's weird.
I don't like Greg anymore.
I think that's the point.
I know.
Like, just the true Greg is coming out. And he wasn't even a good person at the start. Like, he was trying to leech on to the family.
Yes.
But it's just the true Greg's coming out.
The thing is, like, Greg was good for us because he was so dumb that you.
He was
had to love
beneath
him.
us. Now he's above us.
Yeah. Now he's gonna be the Grand Duchy. The siblings are finding out that Logan is gonna sell to Gojo. Kendall breaks down, tells his brothers that he basically killed the kid. He needs them, and they actually support him.
That was a good scene.
So they unite to stop their father. And oh boy, Tom,
What a guy.
the Sith Lord himself,
What a guy. That devil speech or that conversation,
between him and Greg.
that was like I got scared, you know?
Yeah.
Because Tom was like so like, do you
Focused.
want to make a deal with
Yeah.
the devil? And then Craig's like, what do I need a soul for?
He's so weird now. He knows he's
Yeah.
dead
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
And well, yeah. So they go to stop the dad. They go stop Logan to make the deal with Gojo. Logan is 2 steps ahead of him because Tom gives them some information,
Mm-hmm.
and he's able to basically get their mom to side with Logan,
Mm-hmm.
just so the mom's new hubby can get some new stuff.
Yep.
What a horrible lady.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Mom's definitely took an L all around the world after this episode.
A little bit.
Gotta admit, when I saw my mom the next day,
You're like, I don't know about you.
yeah. Girl, better keep on stepping.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, what are your takeaways from this? How'd you feel after watching it?
Betrayed. I
Ooh.
don't know. I was just looking at Kendall the whole time because, like, this is like loss after loss after loss for him. I'm like, don't die, dude. Just come back and then kill Logan in some way. But I think Logan, like, he won. Like, he's not gonna lose anymore. Besides when he dies.
Yeah.
I-
And also maybe not also when he dies, but before that, when he truly realizes that like he has no one.
Yeah, that's gonna be super interesting to see like how he goes through retirement, and he realizes he like lost his whole life just doing this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so sweet.
Well, hopefully they give us that.
That's like, I feel like natural progression.
Yeah.
Because like once you retire, that's like the thing. Like if you don't have anything after work, then you just slowly like think, and he's gonna figure that out. I mean, he was already dying,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see.
Also, another thing is like, I love how the show made me root for, basically, Kendall and the brothers and Roman and Shiv. Like, they made me want them to win, and when they did get sort of backstabbed by
Mhm.
everyone, I felt bad for them,
Mm-hmm.
even though technically Logan is correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's his company. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah.
And technically, they do need some real hard lessons in life.
This is it.
But at the end of the day, Logan should love them. That is his kids, you know?
Yeah.
And they're that way because he created them
Yeah.
that way, you know? He made them into who they are.
Yep.
So, masterfully told story in that way, I think. The way it made me feel about all the characters. And how Logan tries to manipulate at the very end. He's like, come on, Roman.
I
I'll
think
take care of you.
the thing is, like, I think he was sincere towards the end when he was like, "Look, we got this. Like, what do you say? Like, Mattson rated you."
Yeah.
I think that was sincere. The stuff before
I kept thinking he said raped you in that.
rated.
Because he said that to Shiv too. He's like, oh, he rated you. I'm like, what is he saying?
Oh, you didn't know what he was saying at the
No.
time. It was initially like manipulation, but then when he figured out like they're about to tank it all, he tried to save Roman. But at that point, like you couldn't trust him. Like you can't tell what is actually sincere Logan and fake Logan because it's all the same.
It's the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. So that's when like Roman, that's like I feel really bad for him because he was like there, and they just lost it all. And then Kendall, like his third time that day losing that much.
Yeah.
And then Shiv just is sad because like another reason why she's never gonna get it.
Yeah, I like how Kendall's like, he sort of smiled at it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck.
Because like he's probably thinking like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah, I like when to that point, I like when Mattson and Logan were talking. He's like, I don't want to undermine you in any way. I like you. You're like bulletproof.
Yeah.
And when he said that, you felt the respect, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, two titans.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you're a legend.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea of like,
I wish I saw more of their conversation.
Yeah.
Because like they.
I think next season. You're right. He's coming back. Him and the would-be president is gonna be big. I think.
Connor?
No, the guy that I thought he was.
Oh, like
he
the
liked Roman.
racist one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little spicy, huh?
Yeah, it is. Funny stuff about this episode. I like when Connor's girlfriend's like feeling bad that he's gonna say no to him.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck it.
Oh my god.
And he's like, fuck it? It's like, yeah, fuck it. How bad can it be?
And she's like crying in the car.
But I like how she said, how bad can it be?
Yeah.
She's like, the fact that you're saying that is so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're really setting up. I mean, they do this every season. Like, I'm tired, but I want more, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like at the end of this, like the last 10 minutes of this episode, I was like stressed.
No, well, yeah, when the episode ended the way it did, I honestly was like, no, it can't end like this. Like, I wanted Logan to lose so bad.
I wanted to hear Kendall, like for him to say something. Like the last thing he said to him, he was like, he was going to say something, but I think that was like the point where like he was just dumbfounded that
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch the part where he's like, you.
Logan was walking out and he was like, you, and like, he was going to say a sentence, but he just stopped. But I don't know where they land. Because like at this point.
Well, you know how it's based off like Murdoch, Fox News, or Fox, and how Fox sold to Disney. I think there's like, I think it is gonna go through Gojo, and I think it's just gonna be like how Logan realizes he sort of just cut out.
Logan, I just don't know how they get power again. You know,
they don't.
So are they gonna make their own company?
They probably. I don't know. I don't think it's about that. I think the power is the
forever lost.
I think the next season's gonna explore the idea of losing power, and then maybe the brothers finding peace amongst themselves, and then Logan realizing he has no one, and then Tom and Shiv is gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be like now, technically Logan, Tom, and Greg are at the top, and then everyone or Shiv, Kendall, and Roman, they're below them. Like it's just a giant like, boom,
Yeah.
in like an instant.
Do you think Tom has always been snitching from the beginning of the season?
Nah.
Because I've heard people say about the donuts, the second or first episode, that how do you know where to send the donuts to?
Wasn't it Connor?
I don't know.
I feel like Connor did it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it was that episode or the one before. Logan talked to him like, look, you know you're my favorite. And like stuff like that. And I think that was like the setup for Connor telling Dad where to send the donuts. Could have been Tom, but I think Tom was just tired of Shiv always being Shiv.
Yeah.
And he remember when he was talking to Kendall, he's like, look, I looked at you, I looked at him, and I've never seen him get screwed like you.
Yeah.
Or get screwed at all.
Oof.
And it's just Tom realizing like, look, Logan's going to win no matter what. So he's just choosing the right horse.
Ooh, that's tough. Last little bit, Makaru.
Oh, yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was random. I was like, what? Well, I guess that's the point, but it was just funny.
When Connor's like, yeah, Dad's working on his baby batter. And then he kept slinging like incredible lines. Putting together a more adhesive and potent goop. And then he says, look at all the almonds he's been munching. I was just like, I couldn't stop laughing. But it shows like, damn, he just like wants a better
child.
He's like a computer, man. He's like, I need something more elite.
I think Roman was the last straw. Like, look.
Yeah.
He could have been it, but he's just a sicko.
Oh, man. Great. All right. That concludes what's on the telly.
What's on the telly?
Now we'll talk about a new section called Really Be Bussin'. I think some intro music is going here, so get ready for that. I haven't... Anything music-wise you've been busting?
A little bit of Kendrick.
Nice.
Met City.
Get yourself ready mentally?
I just was in the mood. I don't know when this album's coming out, but I've been wanting just good rap. Like, he is what I'm talking about, you know? Like, he raps and then the beats are, like, layered with the rap around it.
Yeah.
Well, and then it matches the tone.
Do you like JID? Or just... He's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him, but not a lot.
Yeah. So Kendrick. Going back to the classics, aren't you?
I don't know. I just skip around. I'm over music.
I could tell. You're becoming soulless, Ivan.
I'm just moving on.
Not me. I did a great thing. Shout out to Pitchfork because they put a article like best. I don't know if it's best, but it's like progressive pop from this year, and it opened my eyes. Your boy Blady was there. There's like a couple songs of Blady that I get his appeal, but overall I don't like his music too much. And then there's another guy called like DX. I don't know if you've heard of him. Like I don't know what it is, but it's similar type of music, but it has more guitar. I think it's called digicore, the genre. Very interesting. It reminds me of like a mix of like emo. Emo. What's XXX?
Sad rap.
Yeah, sad rap, like stuff like that, you know, which is interesting that like that's sort of like a thing right now. And then I found this amazing pop group that I want to sort of shout out right now. Magdalena Bay. They are essentially two people, a singer and a producer. And they make like synth pop. And it's very good. And they have like these TikTok videos that are hilarious.
Mm.
They're very like they do like a lot of like 90s retro style, and their TikToks are just like stupid, ludicrous things. Have you ever watched Andy Milonakis? It's like that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but artist. I just like it a lot. Very good. So really be busted, Magdalena Bay. I'm looking at that, but I should be looking at that. Ivan. I had my random inappropriate thought of the week. So I was on Instagram and this video came across, and it was very heartwarming, honestly. It was a elderly lady who had Alzheimer's, severe Alzheimer's.
That is heartwarming.
Wait for it.
Oh.
And she was a former ballet dancer,
Uh-huh.
and they played like a song from Black Swan, and she was very decrepit, and then all of a sudden she came to life and
Lively.
like started doing like the dances with her hands. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then I thought, what would my song be if I had severe Alzheimer's?
Some Lil Wayne song, probably.
Severe Alzheimer's, and at the age of 90, my great grandkids put on the headphones. What song would it be? And I was like,
Amelie. Imagine.
The first songs that came to my head, I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. Then I was scrolling through Tidal, and I was like, I'm too sexy. And could you imagine my kids,
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa, and they have to play Way Too Sexy for me to turn up? What kind of sicko is that?
Well,
This lady's listening to Black Swan, such a beautiful orchestrational song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here listening to Future say, wait, what does he say?
Too sexy for this.
Oh, yeah.
Trap.
Too sexy to count. That's Young Thug's part, but whatever.
Well, you don't know how bad it will be in the future, so they might have like way 3 sexy in the future with like
But
Drake Jr.
No, the thing is, like, it has to be songs that make you think of.
No, I'm saying like if your kid wouldn't think you're a freak because they might have way 3 sexy. So like this is like a kid song, like a child would listen to this, and you don't know how like society will view
That's true.
that sort of music.
That's true.
They could see it as like a classic. Like, you listen to this, Drake? You listen to Certified Lover Boy when Drake was his best?
Oh,
Wow.
my grandpa was hit. Right, Gramps?
Ooh.
Really be busting.
You'll say that to your kid. They won't even know what it means because they'll have like
They
30
won't speak English.
Chinese.
No, some kind of like digital language.
That's like bussin'. That's already like,
Yeah, that's what it is.
whoa.
That's also what I realized. Like, Kanye's out here talking about like, I want to make certain words the new lexicon. I'm like, that's already happening on TikTok, bro. Even on Instagram, like, people talk with emojis. People talk in the comments with like you think you can't read it, but you read it and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Language is a beautiful thing. I mean, any last parting words for the beautiful people out there?
No.
Well, everyone, this was another successful episode of Peliculas with the Bros. We'll be back next week with a new episode. We don't know what show, what movie.
Spider-Man.
Oh boy, I think I need to watch Spiderman Homecoming before.
I mean, no way. Far From Home. Or did you not watch the first one?
Oh yeah, Far From Home.
Jesus Christ.
I have some homework to do. So next week we're gonna do Spider-Man. I am not too excited, but I will be excited day of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like finally a Marvel movie that like I know, you know.
They're trying to say that this is gonna be the competitor to Endgame, money wise. Like it needs to be busting at that level.
Okay.
I'm using it too much, huh?
I like you're just throwing me off. I can't think right.
Spider-Man. What's it called?
No Way Home.
Spider-Man. No Way Home. We'll see it. We'll talk about it next week.
It's gonna be good.
All right, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Bye.